What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. I was just trying to make this video, and then I'm like, I need my better lint roller because I'm trying to lint roll this semi in the dark because it's a dark shirt and it's facing me and the light's in that way. So I'm trying to make sure, because I always like to make sure that I am putting out items that don't have any frizzes or hair. Not that my animals are laying on my clothes, but when you have a cat and you know their dander floats around in the air, whether you like it or not, and trust me, I'm not the person that likes pet hair. I think after this cat goes, I'm gonna be done with animals for a while until I have my own place, like my own home, not apartment. I wanted to get on here to kind of go over a life update. I think I've talked to you guys about like going through this divorce so many different times. And I've talked about how this process is not linear, and it's not linear for a lot of reasons. And then I'm also going to be talking about my skincare journey. I was going to shoot the video to kind of show you guys like this light is being very forgiving, because right now like I'm just kind of feeling a little self-conscious, I guess you could say. I know what my skin's going through right now is stress and reacting to the environment. The area that we relocated to, I didn't realize like how much pollution was out here, and apparently my skin really hates pollution. And because I'm like, I don't remember my skin reacting the way it did, like it did in Florida. I was thinking like, what if we moved to like a cooler climate? I'm like, yes, like maybe my skin will love me for not, you know, being in the sun all the time. Well, it loves it for not being in the sun all the time. However, I think due to like some sun damage from being in Florida, as well as the pollution out here, it's kind of like take a beating. I don't know if you guys can kind of see. Right now I got some acne breakouts going on, and I plan on making an appointment with a dermatologist, but I'm gonna go to a med spa and get this under control, because I've never been one to wear like a lot of makeup, and I don't wear a lot of makeup because I'm an avid runner, and if I'm already experiencing like clogged pores and things like that, I don't typically like to work out with makeup on. That's just, I don't know, like I just want my skin to be like healthy. I don't expect to have like 100% flawless skin, although that's what I'm praying to God for. God, please restore my skin, please. You can do it. I have faith that you can do it. I don't expect to have flawless skin, but given the circumstances, life happens, and I'm trying to be a little bit more graceful for myself as I'm going through this. So I'm going to be talking about some things that might be triggering to you. So this is in relation to narcissistic abuse, as well as going through the divorce process, which may or may not be triggering for you. I don't know. This is also the summertime, hence why I haven't been as active on here as what I would like. I am going to be more active on here, and I keep on I'm trying to switch, not saying like bad things about myself, but I'm gonna explain that as well, why it feels like I had been going down that path. So I've said this before in my other videos, me going through this divorce and separation process has not been linear. The person that I was with, God, I guess like you could say, God has a very funny way of revealing people's characters, and because He loves us so much, I think He will allow us to be ignorant for a certain amount of time, especially if we're really not trying to follow Him. But then whenever you start praying for things, like the Bible doesn't say be careful what you pray for, but it says ask and you shall receive. I'm going to tell you be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it. So when you ask God, God, take the people out of my life that don't belong there. Father, remove anything that is not of you. And then you start seeing people switch up. You start seeing people reveal things about themselves. This isn't just about their character, maybe things that they're doing behind closed doors that you really wish like you could like not experience. But anyways, that's kind of like what I'm going through right now. I've been going through an enormous amount of narcissistic abuse with my ex, and I think probably the most hurtful things about going through narcissistic abuse is a lot of times the narcissist will genuinely think that they're a victim, and they will, because you're dealing with a Leviathan spirit, they have to rewrite the narrative in their head, because they have other, the Leviathan spirit speaking into their mind things that aren't true, like, oh, she's trying to demasculate you, oh, she's trying to like basically like reduce your manhood and all of these things, or I don't know, they might, the spirit might say something about your partner's character to get you to attack your partner. And what it does is the Leviathan spirit uses your partner, if it is your partner that's the narcissist or displaying these narcissistic traits, they will literally try to drain all of the goodness out of you. And that's why it's extremely draining when you're dealing with people like this. One of the things that I was just recently educated on yesterday was a manipulation tactic that I wanted to discuss here, that this person has done on me, and it's to get you to shut down. And I didn't realize this person was doing this. I don't fully know if they're aware of it, but a part of me actually is starting to think that they actually are aware of what they're doing. But essentially, they will use things as punishment. They'll use silence, no contact as punishment, even when they're the ones that are doing things that are actually hurting you. And they do that so you'll be complicit to their behavior. I was like, that is so evil. Like, you hurt somebody and then you're punishing them for reacting to the pain that you've caused. And so that there has been so much hurt that this person has caused, like ignoring a anniversary date. Like, if you were trying to get your spouse back, if you wanted to fight for your marriage, right, and you were the one that had done all of these horrible things to this person, you would be remorseful, you would be empathetic, you'd be wondering, like, okay, what do I do? What do I need to do to get help so I don't continue down these behavioral patterns? If it's behavioral patterns that are hard to break, you would be doing whatever it took. But this person hasn't been doing that. In fact, I've told this person so many different times to get help, and this person has been banking on me constantly forgiving them to my own mental health detriment, to my own emotional health detriment. And it just got to a place where I physically couldn't do it. I have been extremely depressed over these past couple weeks because I have had to set this boundary. This person has had my nervous system all over the place, and I don't know. I guess when we weren't in contact as much, I felt like I was really starting to heal. And then this person tried to reinsert themselves back in my life, coincidentally, more so around the time frame when my son's not in school. Could it be a coincidence? I'm starting to see this person doesn't do anything without there being a cost-benefit analysis done to their benefit. And again, I'm not calling this person a narcissist, but I'm saying this person has some serious narcissistic traits, and I have the facts to back it up. I don't know why people have to tiptoe around these things, but I can't tiptoe around the truth. These are the truth. Like, this is the truth. This is what has happened. And then on top of ignoring the anniversary, literally, intentionally knowing, he blatantly told me that he knew that it was important to me. And he still went and made that day pretty much a nightmare. And our anniversary, mind you, is like right before or right after the 4th of July. And rather than celebrating the 4th of July as a family, not because it's a holiday, but because it's the day before the anniversary, because again, this person has came to me like wanting to repair the relationship back and forth, but what I was noticing is that he only wanted to repair it whenever it was convenient for him, coincidentally around time frames in which I would help him. So, and on top of this person having other issues, that we aren't able to go to places like pools, even being at certain facilities where people are going to be around, because he's not getting help for this issue. It has caused me to have like PTSD responses because this person has tried to like beat down my self-esteem so much. And this is not to make him look like a bad person. This is just me discussing my reality concerning everything. Over the past several days, it's like I feel like I've been crying every other day due to being in separate places, because I just couldn't go through all of the mental and emotional abuse he's put me through. And now it's kind of, well, not kind of, it's bleeding over into financial abuse for a career decision that I decided to make because I was trying to better my family's financial situation. And it was a circumstance that he agreed on as well, that I should pursue this, and he supported me. And he financially benefited off of that when it was working out. But then when I couldn't take the opportunity and incurred a financial debt, then I became this person that made a poor decision. So I've been paying for a debt that I've had to go back and had like already put a lump sum down payment on, and and while I'm paying down this debt, basically that debt was split financially. So he reaped the benefits of that debt, and I'm paying off the debt with my money. That's just like, it's just been like repeated blows after blows. And then these past couple weeks, it's like I had been really trying to, I think, overlook things, but then my body was like, no, Amy, your mind can tell you whatever you want it to tell you, but your body will literally reject it. And my body was literally rejecting these lies, no matter how much my mind wanted to trick myself into thinking that this person could be different, this person could change. I was realizing, like, my body wouldn't let me be ignorant anymore. And let's just say he's put me in uncomfortable positions where I've caught him in things, and publicly, and he's tried to deny it, even though the issue surrounding his issue, you can see how there would be bleeding over into it. And I talked about this before in previous videos. For example, let's say somebody has a gambling addiction. This isn't his issue, but let's say someone has a gambling addiction. You wouldn't bring them to some kind of event where, while it might not be like a casino or something like that, but like, let's say it's dice or cards or pool, you wouldn't want to bring him to a place like where they might have like scratch off machines. Like, that's just not what you would do. And while the places I took him, I didn't think that he would take those environments and do those things. He's tried to basically gaslight me to make me think I wasn't seeing what I was seeing. And no matter how much I actually wanted to pretend like I wasn't seeing what I was seeing, it was just like spitting in my face every single time. So ironically, after a major fallout, because I got to a place where it's like, you can't lie to me anymore about this, like, you're literally doing this in front of my face, and now you're trying to convince me that this isn't my reality. And on top of that, he's tried to do that manipulation tactic where he does something wrong, but he's trying to punish you for your reaction. This is a huge red flag for a narcissist. It's very evil, and I would seriously, like, if this person is, if you're around somebody and they are doing this, please get away from them, because the abuse only gets worse. It only gets worse. And I'm to a point where it's like, for me, I've done so much grieving, and I think because this process has drawn out, it's made it a little bit more difficult and harder to just get over this person. But I don't know. October 6th is the soonest that I can file for my divorce, and mentally I'm preparing myself just to do that, because this person thinks that my forgiveness and apologizing for my part and trying to make recompense on my part is an opportunity to continue to do what they're doing. And men like this that aren't really men, they're little boys that are wounded, don't feel the need to change and won't change until they lose it all. And sometimes even losing you, the person that they claim to care about, won't even do that, because they will think in their head that they either have another opportunity with you, or they will be on to the next. Even though if they don't get help, they'll just be repeating the same cycles. You can't help people who want to live in cycles. And I'm like, okay, Amy, well, what got you in this situation? And there are cycles, even myself, like I'm trying to work on, because I don't want to be that person. I've been really struggling lately. Really struggling lately. This person has really hurt me to my core. After what should have been our anniversary, and after telling me repeatedly, oh, I'm gonna bring you with me to visit my friend and bring our son so that I can meet this friend that he claims isn't who I thought he was when I first met him. He decided, like, once again, he's done this when we first relocated. He basically used me as a babysitter so he could go off and get a guy's night out, which nobody said that men are not allowed to have a guy's night out. But this person has never made any emotional investment, any vacation for his family. He's never made any emotional investment in terms of like anniversary, like vacations, things like that. But this guy literally within a matter of 24 to 48 hours found somebody to watch his dog, 24 hours I think. And then he did the same thing so that his mom could come down here to watch our son. She lives in Florida. We live in a completely opposite direction. It's just like you go through your head, like you think like, how could I have let I don't know how I let this person hurt me. So much. And not even just myself, also my son in the process. And I realized because I was getting short with my son because of just like all the additional pressure financially, carrying a debt. This person spitting in my face, trying to play the victim, has an issue that he's not getting help for, that's been ongoing for a year, but was doing it 3.5 years prior to me actually finding out what he was doing. And the only thing I can say is that what he was doing has impacted the way I view myself, the way I see myself. And he knows to the extent of how much it's hurt me. And while he's like apologized for things, there has been, it's like some of the apologies weren't even good apologies. Some of the apologies were only via text message. Apologies aren't sincere if there's no followed up change. So it's like, from then on out, every time you just apologize, I'm like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like, it doesn't. And I apologize for this being a long video, but I wanted to make sure I told you guys what's been going on, and just things to look out for, because this is like the one thing I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy as it relates to the problem that he has and how much it can impact you. I would tell any woman that's in my circumstances, if you are with a man who is like this, I would tell you to leave him. I'm not telling you to break up with him, but this is just my advice. Take it, leave it, throw it in the trash. I don't care, but I would tell you to leave him, not because he's a bad person, but because this person has the potential of really, really hurting you. Really, 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 really hurting you. Because first off, if this person actually loved themselves, which they don't, they wouldn't be doing things like this to hurt the people around them. People do things that can hurt people, but it's like when you know that you have a serious issue, you need to get help for it. You need to do the right thing and do the right thing. But I'm realizing this person likes the facade of doing the right thing without actually doing the right thing. Yeah. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's not that I'm disappointed anymore. I just want this to be over. I'm tired of being in pain. I'm tired of hurting from this person. I'm tired of like there being like a semblance of hope and realizing like this person will never change because this person doesn't see the need to change. I'm tired of like just wondering if this person's doing something behind my back. Like, there's just a lot of things that I'm tired of, and I'm really like trying to love myself and take care of myself. But there's just a lot, I think, like, that he's put on my shoulders that I know for a fact that if I had done half the things that he's done to me, he wouldn't be talking to me. But somehow I'm supposed to not only bear the weight of what he's done, but also deal with that pain. And I'm just not doing it. Like, I've seen, like, when you've seen people, other women in your life go through the same things, and he's witnessed people that are very close to him go through some of these same things, it's like, how could you do this to somebody when you've seen your own mother go through something like this? Like, and you claim to be a Christian. Got it. I would tell any woman to be very careful about who you decide to get with. Make sure that you really ask God, because these people can claim until they're blue in the face that they're changed, that they are a certain way, when in reality they're not anything like what they say that they are, and they have no fortitude to change. They will not change. I promise you they won't change unless God divinely intervenes, which you can pray for. God can do anything. But I would just say, don't get your hopes up. Because while God can do anything, the person also has to be willing and accepting of God doing that for them. Just like anybody who receives salvation, if the person's not willing to change, even if they're putting people, their families, through hell, if that's not enough to change, and if throwing a 16-year marriage down the drain after all the pain and trauma you put somebody through isn't enough reason to change, even if you weren't going to be in the marriage, I don't know what else to say. Like, I just would encourage you, don't deal with somebody like this until they've actually got the help that they need, because you will be hurting yourself. And if you have kids, now this isn't just about you, this is also about your kids, and your kids need you to be stable, financially stable, mentally stable, emotionally stable, physically stable. They need you to be stable, and it's hard to be stable when someone doesn't want to be stable in their own mind. So yeah, that's what I would tell you. So I pray for you guys. I pray that God meets you where you are at. I pray that you have a divine encounter with Jesus. And if you don't know Jesus, I would encourage you to learn about him. I know that Jesus will heal the wounds that this person has caused. It's just going to take a lot of time to heal. And only Jesus can do it, because he's going to get the glory out of all this pain. So, I hope you guys have a good evening.